What's up, YouTube? Happy Friday to all of you Cryptonairz out there, and we are back. You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Around the Clock. Cryptonairz, Ladies of Crypto, bringing you the news of the crypto sphere, what's happening in the metaverse, and in the NFT space. We also mix it in with a little bit of crypto news. Hey,
Hey,
Sean.
Sean.
So, you guys, let's do what we normally do at the top of the hour, and that is to start off with looking at what the markets are doing. You guys know we're going into the weekend, and if you've been in crypto for any amount of time, you know what the weekends usually mean. If there is a pullback or a correction or something that's going to happen, most of the time it'll happen on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we are definitely starting to experience that weekend correction. Bitcoin is at $44,862, way down from where it was, last night, with a 9.1% decrease for the 7-day average. Ethereum, 3,200, guys, 15% pullback there. Cardano still holding on to the number 3 spot at $2.39. Solana, she dipped a little bit downward today because she was almost at $200, but she's back at 178.91, but still 22% point two up for the 7-day average, so not bad. And XRP still at over a dollar, holding on at $1.06. And as per usual, we're going to take a look at Strong. So bear with me while I pull Strong up, and shout out to the Strong Block Army. Strong down to 464 and 32 cent, down 7.4% for the week. So Strong still looking strong, but we always love it when she's soaring. So we
And
will
she
definitely be
will
glad.
again.
She will again. She'll fly again. We'll be glad to see her back up there near the $700 mark and reaching and surpassing that all-time high. You guys may notice my setup is a little different tonight. I am at my daughter's house who is moving, and moving sucks. So yes, mom is helping to pack and all of that good stuff. So I'm literally in what's left of her office. And when I get off the stream, I'm going to have to take down the desk that I'm like using for my setup. So yes, fun times. So let's see what we have going on. It just seems to me, Allie, that crypto is at war. It has seemed like that ever since Gensler took office. And we've been getting more and more, negativity from our representatives and senators and congressmen, former presidents,
Yeah.
billionaires who want to take a swipe at it. So for all of the innovation, all of the progressive movement, all of the gains that many of us have seen and experienced, it still feels like there is, something behind the curtain, that there's something kind of going on. So I really want to see where this is headed, like we all do, and really praying. Most of us are believing crypto is very strong, and because it's been going so long since, the early 2000s, that it's going to continue to go on, albeit maybe changed a little bit from what we know it as. But, hopefully the investor will still be able to make those great gains. So, but it seems like, every day there's something in the headlines, which I'm going to share with you guys. Um, that does not seem positive. So I'm trying to pick my words very carefully. But this headline, and I've seen many headlines like this: crypto prepares for war with the SEC. And this is from a Fortune magazine. Um, you know, not going to bore you guys with the details too much because there are none, as except what we've actually been telling you, and that is Gensler has declared himself, the new sheriff in town, and has apparently made it his business to send a very clear message, that he is going after cryptocurrency and looking to regulate, and maybe not so much in a positive way here in the United States. And this article just basically outlines what we talked to you guys about last night, them going after Coinbase, one of the largest, if not the largest, cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, particularly their Lend program that they had, which was just going to offer a 4% yield on some cryptocurrencies to their customers. And Gary said, no, no, if you're going to do that, that is a security. And that comes under my auspices. And so therefore, we are going to litigate. So again, according to Brian Armstrong, just to catch you guys up who did not watch the show last night, Brian, we shared some of his Twitter feed. And he said, basically, I've been talking to you guys about regulation for years, being proactive, asking, what he thought were the right questions, asking for clarification, guidance, and I got nothing. And now all of a sudden you want to come after me, with litigation. And it appears that not only Coinbase, but Ripple, who's also in a litigation with the SEC, extended the olive branch to the SEC prior to being dragged into court, and also got nothing, but apparently some hostility for their trouble. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we will continue, because it really seems here increasingly that the only way we're going to get some positive action is continue to be proactive as a community, because we vote. And I've read several articles that say people are going to vote based on their representatives, whatever side of crypto they end up on. So, we got to continue to make our voices heard, because it does not seem like this is slowing down. And this is, I know these headlines are for sensationalism or whatever. But it looks like there is a kind of a cold war going on between the SEC and crypto.
In our server, someone had mentioned that regulation is going to be tough, and it's going to come down hard, but it's needed to move the market past 3 or 4 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if I agree with this sentiment. I think that we have a handful of countries that either already have CBDC pilot program. There is a group of countries that banded together to launch a program as one. And then in the Caribbean, there's a handful of countries that already have CBDCs. And I don't think that the US has any clue, besides fleecing all of America for as much tax money as they can generate out of this industry, which is fine. We have to pay our taxes. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like that is their focus, instead of embracing this new technology like some other countries. Yes, the United States has been an economic superpower for generations now, but there's no guarantee on that. So there's no guarantee that the US will stay that way, I should say. When you have other countries that are embracing this and they're testing out these pilot programs, or they have more favorable tax treatments. I actually just saw something before the stream that said foreign investors will be charged 0 tax on Bitcoin gains in El Salvador. Not only are we going to have a mass exodus of crypto holders, it's going to be a huge brain drain. That is not what this country needs when we are on the cusp. It's not really the cusp anymore, because the industry is just really rolling ahead, full steam ahead with different projects and DeFi. DeFi changes everything. I've said it before, for everyone except residents of this country. And it just, I don't even know what the answer is. I don't think anyone knows what the answer is, including the regulators. So keep up with Fight for Our Future. Keep contacting our representatives, even local. Like if you live in a big city, call your mayor. Smaller cities, maybe like if you live in the suburbs, I guess you could do it, but they probably don't care about us. But if you live in a large metropolitan area, and there's a mayoral election coming up, try to find out where the candidate stands on this issue. Or if there is no election, still try to find out where the current mayor stands on the issue. Because big cities, like if you look like at a city like New York City or Miami or LA or Austin, any of these large cities, those mayors actually carry a lot of clout within within their state and within the country, because they are in charge of millions of residents each. So, and all of those people vote. I don't, it just feels like such a missed opportunity.
I totally agree. And I feel like some of the questions that they are asking for our future as a country, blockchain is the answer. And as you mentioned, it would be a huge missed opportunity. There's stats somewhere. We know that that tell us how lagging and how far behind we are as a nation in terms of our use or teaching our citizens about technology. That's where everything is headed. This should be like 101 basics, starting from like kindergarten or even preschool. So, teaching kids how to code, that shouldn't be a special summer program. That's something that, our kids need to know the basics of how these things work. Blockchain is a game changer. It can do just about everything that the old archaic financial structure could do, except do it better, faster, and cheaper.
It's
And
not
we're
just, I'm sorry, go on.
go ahead.
Oh, it's not just the financial system. Like it affects every single industry.
Right.
We're all moving in this area. When I was younger, I think it was 8th grade, my dad gave me a watch for graduation. And on the back of the watch, it said, he had it engraved and it said, education is freedom. And if you start teaching people these things, they might rise up.
100%. And these tech jobs, they're and every day as a person who experienced this, like, in real time, in real life, when I see those unemployment reports and unemployment is the lowest it's ever been. And I'm always saying to myself, bull crap, those jobs that they're trying to fill, either they're low wage or they're very high skilled. And most people fall somewhere in the middle of that. So a lot of those very high paying, high skilled jobs, we should be training people to do.
Yeah, Ohio.
I don't understand. Those are the kinds of jobs and the kinds of opportunities
Yes.
and I do see colleges offering blockchain courses here and there. I'm seeing that more and more now. But these are the kinds of things, the kinds of innovations that we need to get people ready for. And other countries are doing this so much better. As usual, we're lagging behind, so far behind, as you say. Even some of the CBCDs have digital currencies that look at, China's always, it seems, 7 steps ahead of us. They got the digital yuan already launched and doing business.
Yeah.
So, get on the bandwagon, or that superpower that we've always prided ourselves in being is going to become a thing of the past. And the very thing, again, that can assist and support us in keeping and maintaining that position, it seems like people are actually crucifying and fighting against. So go
People are
figure.
always afraid of change in the unknown, especially if
Yeah,
it means they might lose a little bit of their
yeah,
stranglehold over the people. I
exactly.
will say the state that I live in, maybe you heard me mention it in a previous stream, but I do live in Ohio. During the peak of what happened this year, God,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
crazy. I feel like where is time anymore? Like what is time? Um,
Exactly.
During the peak of that, when people had to stay home, the state was running a special program where there were thousands of available positions, like over 50,000. They were partnering with various companies in the state to train you for free for a new tech job, so that when things opened back up, you would have a position to go to, because it was a unique time where a lot of people were at home. A lot of people had time on their hands. Maybe you had a full-time job before, maybe you even had two jobs and you didn't have
Mhm.
time to learn a new skill. So
Mhm.
they had a hard time getting people to bite on that. Like they would talk about
Mhm.
it every day in their little press conferences.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, here in Maryland, they had similar programs they were advertising, but to get into those programs was like it was difficult. It was very difficult to access it. I mean, you talk about the hoops you had to jump through. One of my daughters actually did that, and then at one point in time, I had applied, and I was in college as a full-time student, and they were like, "That actually counted against me," and I'm like, "Are you serious? What are you talking about?" Anyway, so it was like one thing after another. So I just often wonder, these are the kinds of things that we definitely need to promote. If people weren't biting, why? Find out what is going on and what the barriers are and remove them. But these opportunities, they need to not only be present, but they need to be accessible, because like you said, such a missed opportunity. And moving right along, you guys, this next article just kind of bears out what we've been talking about. In the caption says, "Slow to start, crypto regulators lagging behind the blockchain industry." Did we already know that? I think we did. But this article I did choose because there's a very interesting story in here about Gensler meeting with the EU, which is our European neighbors, meeting with those legislators to talk about policy. And I think what he wants to be is in lockstep. He wants the
Yeah.
European Union to be in lockstep with what he's planning for cryptocurrency right here in the good old US of A. So this is, again, um, I'm just going to read it because it kind of says everything I want to say. As if he didn't have enough to do, Uncle Gary, it didn't say the word uncle, that's what I said, appeared before the European Parliament on September 1st to share recommendations regarding the regulation of crypto assets and other matters. While the United States SEC Commission chair made clear that he was presenting his own views, not those of the Commission, his virtual appearance raised question. Does Gensler, regarded by some as America's most crypto savvy regulator, believe that cryptocurrency and blockchain policy has to be harmonized globally? Of course he does. If so, can he make common cause with the Europeans? Or do the US and the European Union have different priorities? So, again, I'm sure he'll be making the speech in other places in the world. As a matter of fact, I'm certain of that. Um, Let me read this quote here. This is from Jeffrey Goodell, a research associate at the University College of London. He said there is a growing realization on both sides of the Atlantic that digital currencies are here to stay. And this is what we've been talking about all along, and could potentially introduce systemic risk, not only to investors searching for new sources of uncorrelated returns, but also to monetary sovereignty. And therein lies the crux of it all. This is exactly, this is a threat. This disruption to the US dollar and everything that the US dollar represents. And there definitely are people in the old guard that are afraid that this is going to basically take down the United States dollar as the leader of the free world in terms of the monetary leader. So, um, Gensler said he was technology neutral. He's anything but public, but he's anything but public and policy neutral. So I don't even know that he's technology neutral as it relates to crypto. I don't know that that's actually a true statement. But yeah, so he's basically carrying this message to other parts of the globe. Started with the EU, and again, I'm sure it's not the last country that we'll hear he's traveling to make sure that they're in lockstep and doing the same thing. Otherwise, that we'll have, as you say, alley abdication from here to continue, gaining in more cryptocurrency friendly countries.
The best part about all of that is that the IRS, they're going to have an exit interview with you and they're going to get you on the way out, one way
Oh,
or the other.
man.
Look, I
Yes,
know
yes,
that
yes.
people risk everything to come to this country still in 2021. People risk everything to come here, and I realize that we are lucky to be American. So
Mhm.
I don't want anyone to mistake some of the, like, that I'm ungrateful for where I live, because I'm not. I have lived in other countries before. I've traveled around Asia. I've been to plenty of developing countries, and I do realize how lucky I am. I'm just disappointed, and that's okay
Yeah,
because we are
yeah.
allowed to have those opinions here.
Yes, exactly. I feel much the same. My patriotism not in question. What is in question is the loyalty of this country to its citizens in terms of its wish to see us prosper, as is stated in the Constitution and many other places in, in our governance. So, yeah. And yeah, it seems like it's more to the status quo and the 1% to prosper. And that's the part that always, breaks my heart. Literally, it really does. But in other news, guys, moving right along, this is kind of a this happened apparently very briefly. And Allie, you had mentioned last night, wouldn't
I
it be
did,
funny
yeah, I texted you.
if Coinbase accidentally, or not if they asked, but if they just decided, a lot of people were kind of goading them into relisting XRP as kind of a middle finger to the SEC. So apparently that did happen, albeit briefly, on the Coinbase Pro platform. So they relisted amid the spat with the SEC, and it says after first delisting in January, over fears of the regulatory crackdown on crypto, several users of the US-based major crypto exchange, Coinbase Pro, took notice last night that the exchange seemed to have relisted it. But the joy over the apparent listing was short lived. The exchange apparently removed it and then denied any listing of XRP. So, yeah, do you think this happened for however long?
Apparently it did. It was a mistake.
Was it though? Was it? Oh my gosh. So this is some good news. If you bought into this cryptocurrency, this is an exchange based token. And good for the people that did. I did hear about this like months ago on somebody's show who shall remain nameless. But they had mentioned this DYDX exchange. Apparently, they released their governor's token. They did an airdrop. I'm not sure how long ago they did this, but I believe this was some months ago. But those people who they airdropped, the airdrop was worth up to $100,000 for some
Yeah, that
lucky
I feel like that airdrop
people.
was actually just this week.
Oh, the airdrop. Wow. So apparently after they did the airdrop, the token rose from like it was 1028 at the time of writing, and then it hit a all-time high of $14.24, making that airdrop worth a lot for a lot of people. So good for them. I hope they find a way to protect their gains. But this is great. I mean, this is why, you do crypto, you look for the airdrops and these things because you never know how they're going to, pay off for you, what they might end up being worth. So for these folks, that when the governance token came, we got a lot of us who are XRP holders looking forward to the airdrop from Flare. And we got a lot of Songbird is another one that if you hold XRP, you're gonna be able to get, and I think there might be 3 or 4 other tokens. So let's hope that those airdrops are as lucrative as this one because wow. Kudos to those folks who participated in that. And Channing is asking a question. Have we thought of having guests on our show? Yes, we have. And
Yes.
as a matter of fact,
Yeah, we're going to be having two actually.
one of them is Crypto Eddie. So be on the lookout. Hopefully, we can arrange that. We'll have a nailed down or confirmed date for you guys soon. And of XRP fame, many of you know exactly who that is, and that we're very much looking forward to her gracing us with her presence here. But yes, we're definitely all the time fielding for opportunities like that. Thank you, Channing, and thank you for being here.
And we're also going to be having the artist from Ether Cyborgs to discuss his project as well. So
yeah, so definitely make sure you guys stay tuned and watch out for those, and we'll let you know exactly when they're going to happen. And I meant to share this article the other night, but as always, there's so much to talk about. I can't get to everything.
yeah.
But I know people may have seen that Bitcoin, because you guys know Jack Dorsey owns Twitter and Square, which is AKA Cash App. But he's thinking of having some of the more popular Twitter people in the Twitter space being able to be tipped in Bitcoin. So that is a very cool thing for them. Would you ever tip anybody in Bitcoin, Al?
If I had a lot of it, sure. I mean, I don't have a lot of it. So what I
Mm-hmm.
have is precious and I'm not giving that away as tips.
Not
But
tipping.
the Twitter tip feature is relatively new and it can only be turned on if you have over 10,000 followers. And even then, because they're still testing it out, it's selective, the larger accounts that can have it. I have seen accounts that have it. And like a good use would be, let's say, last week we had an interview about Ohm, and
Mm-hmm.
yesterday or Wednesday we had that chill stream, and there was a panel there for people that tuned into those. If they found a lot of value in that and they don't necessarily want to become a subscribing member to our community, you could just leave a tip, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's like 1,000 stats or I don't know. I think that they are
Yeah.
talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, right?
I don't know. I just read
Maybe
like the
this
top,
particular
like
article is just for Bitcoin. Yeah.
just about
Um,
Bitcoin. But if Ethereum, either or, I wouldn't be tipping none of that. But what's going to happen is a bunch of newbies will come to the space, or people that have like loads of either one of those, and they will be using it as tips. But that's interesting. It's going to be fun to see how that progresses. I don't know why he wouldn't. I hope they also give other options like cash.
well, he is a Bitcoin maxi, so it
Mm-hmm.
absolutely makes sense
Mm-hmm.
that he would roll out Bitcoin tipping.
But of course. All right, Jack. Let's see how this one goes. All right, let's see here, guys. Um, this next article, I guess we were going to go into and talk a little bit about the metaverse news here. And as every time we look, it seems as if someone new is entering the space and it's just going to be like that for the next century. Undoubtedly. But this company's called Trace Network Labs. And it says they're to enable lifestyle for the metaverse. So reading this article, it looks like they are linked with they have luxury and lifestyle industry partners in the metaverse. So, they're for the fancy folks that want to enter the metaverse. So people who want to, wear designer clothes and accessories and have their digital avatars wearing lifestyle products in the metaverse. So it says they're going to create a gateway for lifestyle brands to enter the metaverse. So they're basically going to set up the road, the pathway for a lot of these companies who may not have a clue about what the metaverse is or NFTs to get in. And I think that's a pretty smart business to be in right now. So the metaverse alongside they'll be able to wear those brands in the real world and in the metaverse, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. And
My, I'm sorry,
go
go
ahead.
on. I was
Go
just going
ahead,
to say
honey.
my bet for luxury goods in the metaverse is Luxo.
Mhm.
And they're going to be coming out with a new token standard, ERC 725. And that is being created by uh, the man that created the current standard now, ERC 721.
Mhm.
Isn't that it's 721, right? Because I don't have
Um
this written down, so I'm just like from memory. I'm pretty sure it's 721. Yeah, but they're coming out with a new token standard and universal digital ID. So it will work like whatever digital ID you would pick. It would work in all the metaverses across all the platforms. It's just like one
cool.
ID for everything. And you'll be able to take on that whatever. Let's say you buy a jacket. This woman's wearing a jacket. Let's say you buy that jacket. That jacket NFT is in this new 725 standard. You can wear that in Decentraland. You can wear it in Sandbox. You can wear it in um, CryptoVox. So you can wear it anywhere. So that's the
Very
the
cool.
premise. That's the premise from my understanding. And so Artifact Studio and also what is the one that you bought the jacket from or the dress? Dematerialized.
Dematerialized.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those two.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are so cool. I have to go see what they have to offer that may be new this week. Trying to build up my avatar closet here.
I think that they
This
had a
is
Karl Lagerfeld launch this morning. It was a little,
no.
yeah, like a little 3D guy. He sold out in 30 seconds.
Of course he did. And
Yeah.
speaking of a high-end designer, this is Rebecca Minkoff. Many of you may know her from. I used to buy her purses all the time. But this is Yahoo X and Rebecca Minkoff have a new NFT and AR experience. So basically, she just became the first major American designer to make her collection available via NFTs. So, in a new tech forward collaboration with Yahoo, the project will offer digital versions of the designer's fall holiday looks along with an immersive online augmented reality experience. So,
Love that.
that is gonna be cool. Look at that jacket. That is fly.
Yeah.
I like the purse. Look, I'm already looking at the purses.
Yeah. She's younger.
Yeah.
This is a younger high end brand. So it
Mhm.
doesn't surprise me that she's willing to try this.
So this is going to be cool. I'm definitely gonna be watching this, quite closely because I do like this designer, and it's nice that she is the first American designer, to come forward. So be looking for her fall and holiday fashions in NFT versions, ladies and gentlemen. If we find out where they're launching, we will definitely let you guys know. And did you might already have this in your lineup to talk about with NFTs about the Sotheby's Bored Ape sale?
Yeah. I meant to talk about it yesterday, but I forgot. And yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go for it.
Okay. So we did take you into Decentraland to check out the auction that was happening. It ended the other day, and the winning bid, Corey, you've seen it, so I'm not going to ask you, right? You know the amount.
I do.
Okay. Um, the winning bid closed at $24.4 million. And that was for 101 bored apes. And then there was also an auction for the dogs. What are those dogs called?
The Kennel
Thank
Kennel
you.
Club.
Board Ape Kennel Club, and that was over $1 million as well. But if I'm not mistaken, there is a $6 million premium. So when you buy something at auction, there's usually like a buyer's premium, And I think I've never sold anything at auction, but there is a seller's premium as well. And I think for Sotheby's, it's definitely over 20%. But the premium on this particular auction for the winner was $6 million.
Oh well,
That's a lot.
he had to figure that out up front, but he had a lot to spare there, minus the you know 24 million.
Yeah.
So
Do you know if has this the buyer is that person anonymous, or have they stepped forward?
if I was getting $24 million, I know I would be anonymous in his or her name, because I can't even say, because I was just going to ask you whether or not you thought it was a DAO, or was it one person who owned 101 of these apes?
I don't
Because
know.
the name is not mentioned in this article at all. So because
It very well could be a DAO, but
yeah,
that's a
because
lot. I mean, for a DAO, I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
I
It
mean,
could be
how
a
would
DAO.
one person have 100 of these apes?
Could
That
it
I
be
mean,
also a venture capital fund? They've been purchasing up a lot of NFTs, high end blue chip NFTs.
it
I
to
know
me,
that
I would think that it
3AC.
would be a joint effort. I would think that it would be a conglomerate rather than just one individual owner. Because but we could always be wrong. But that's a lot of apes for one individual owner to have.
It
So
is,
I
yeah.
is this a little video? What is this?
It
Oh
is.
yeah,
That's just from
that's
the
him walking
auction.
with
Yeah.
the
That's like
kennel
the promo
dog.
video for the auction.
It says congrats to all the apes out there, because this also means for individual holders, it sets a new bar. So good for them.
Oh, it's my
Yep, it's your
I'm
turn.
so sorry. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, so as we know, we are in a bear market. I'm just joking. Things are just flat right now. Things are flat in NFTs, and that's okay. So I wanted to read to you a few things. Um, First, I wanted to mention I saw a well known chain link marine, unfortunately, had been hacked. So this is just a
Ooh.
reminder, and I'm going to give that ledger code again for 20% off. He tweeted earlier today, I've been hacked across 3 MetaMask wallets for over 10,000 link and a lot of ETH. It must have been some form of malware attack keylogger, and I didn't move them to my ledger because of the gas fees. Guys,
Mm.
please don't be an idiot like me. Use a ledger. I'm being fully serious. I'm distraught. That's practically all of my funds gone, and I'm really not sure how I'll bounce back from this. If anyone can help, please DM me. The hacker has sent the funds to a freshly created wallet, which hasn't interacted with any sexes yet.
It
So
seems like this guy needs to contact that Cipher intelligence group
I
that we had.
actually tagged that company in this tweet, but they didn't respond. So maybe this person saw that and they decided like, oh, who's Liddy Capital? Look them up, and
Mhm.
maybe he reaches out to them himself.
I hope
But
so.
this is exactly what they try to help people with. But please, guys, just like he said, please use a ledger. And I don't have that code. Let me see if I can get it. I don't have that code
Oh,
pulled
you
up.
guys
I know
can
it's like
find
Cool
it
Cat
all
on
over
Twitter
YouTube, all over probably your favorite YouTuber influencer, has one. So
has a
yeah,
code.
we're good.
Yeah, I was just going with
Mhm.
the Cool Cats code because
Mhm.
I happened to see it earlier in the week, and that's the one that we mentioned. They're running a special 20% off promo till the 13th. You can find that info on their Twitter, or like Corey said, like every YouTube channel um has a ledger code. So, and if you don't get a ledger, Trezor, SafePal, something, get
Something.
something. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Now that I have that sad news out of the way, um, I wanted to mention there were some people that were interested in the Sneaky Vampire Syndicate drop that was supposed to be tomorrow. But the team decided, in honor of victims of 9/11, that they were going to push that back 24 hours. So it will be at the same time. Excuse me. That time is noon, but on Sunday. September the 12th. So if you were looking out for that, just know it's now going to be on the 12th. Okay. I just always have to cross off like what I've talked about. Then we also have Lit Jesus is dropping tomorrow at 10:30. That link will be, it is not public. No one knows what the site is. It will be dropping in their Discord before 10:30. So check that out in their server. Tools of Rock did a teaser tweet earlier today saying that tonight's announcement will kick off Tools of Rock weekend. So who knows what that means? Who knows what they're announcing? But I do know we have some community members that were holding Tools of Rock NFTs. So keep an eye on their Twitter account or in the server if you still belong to it. And I wanted to show you a couple projects. There's not much going on today because, like I said, things are a little quiet. But I was browsing Twitter earlier to see what can I talk about today. I always like to try to get show ideas from cool tweets I see. And I came across, I mentioned that I got invited to join the NFT communities on Twitter. And I was browsing that earlier to see if there were any interesting conversations happening. And someone shared, oh my God, again, like I get so amped up when I hear about these projects. And this isn't even like something we can get yet. It's just an artist that has created a project called Life Forms. I don't know how people come up with this stuff. Introducing Life Forms. Life Forms are NFT-based entities that, like any living thing, need regular care in order to thrive. If not properly looked after, life forms die. A life form that has died will no longer appear in wallets. It is not transferable and cannot be brought back to life in any way. How do you care for a life form? Within 90 days of receiving it, you must give it away. So it's sort of like an experiment. I don't know. And I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what it looks like. But a peek at the physical installation of the first 3 life forms, fostering at, I'm sorry, I can't say this word. It's something in Hamburg, Germany. I'm not sure. I don't want to butcher. Maybe it's a university or art gallery. I'm not quite sure. How does someone come up with something like this? This is actually going to be available for people to buy, because a lot of people are asking this artist questions like, can we get this? When can we get this? And so it is just, there are just 3 happening right now. And hopefully she's going to be launching this actually in November. So, okay, they'll open to the public on November the 14th. So we're going to go to the website and I'm going to show you guys what they look like.
In a way, this kind of reminds me, while you're pulling that up, of the Tamagotchi. Is that how you
Yes,
say it?
Tamagotchis. Yes, that's what someone said, like in the feed, and they were like, "It's a Tamagotchi NFT." Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen. I don't know how people come up with. I
And
have
if you
no
guys like,
idea.
because that was like back in, I'm
The
dating
90s, I
myself, and
think,
yeah, but
or
yeah, you had
2000s.
the
I don't even
little
know when.
watch, and you had to feed them at a certain time and do certain things to keep it alive, and if you didn't, then it would croak. Pretty cute.
Yeah. So
It was
this
all
is
the
what it
rage
looks
then.
like. So in 90 days, she'll be giving them away to the public. Right now, they're in a gallery. It looks like they're an organism or something, like they have a heartbeat.
And that is
Yeah,
very cool. There's not
I would
well,
love
there's not gonna be
receiving
like
these.
10,000 of these. There's only 3.
No, there are not going to be 10,000, and I don't know. She has not revealed. Like as you
Mhm,
can see, there's really. I guess we could click
mhm,
on this.
mhm.
Yeah, this is kind of what I've. Okay, they're in foster care until November 14th. After this, these life forms will continue their perilous journey through many hands, and the life form contracts will open for public creation. Life forms run on Polygon, a proof of stake network. Oh, the total supply of life forms is uncapped, and creation will cost
Hmm.
$10 only. So I'm
Oh,
definitely going to be
wow.
getting my hands on one of these. Um, This is so cool. I would like to be a part of social experiments like this. I think it's fun. It gets me happy and inspired. You know, sometimes you get down with your day-to-day grind, going to work, coming home, same thing
Tell me
all the
about
time.
it.
And then you see something like this and you're like, wow, people are still creative. I can't believe that. So I thought it was interesting. And in November, we'll be able to get one of those for ourselves. Then in the comments for that, someone dropped a project that is, again, the creativeness here. Every time this NFT is transferred, it degrades a little bit. Eventually, the whole thing's just going to die. Hold on.
And I put the website for that in the chat, guys, in case you want to go check it out.
Yeah, so someone put in the comments for this particular project, another project, which, again, I don't know how people do this, but this is actually a pretty decent sized account, 18.2 thousand followers. OX Def Beef Corey, I think we actually have read some of his tweets on stream before. This project is called Entropy, and it explores themes of permanency and ownership. The media will artificially degrade on each ERC 721 transfer. So I'm going, and there's also music too. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Excuse me. I'm going to have to share the screen again. So I want to try to find this to see who has it, because this tweet is from earlier in the year. I want to know, like, has it died? Is it done? Or is it still being transferred amongst collectors?
And while Allison's looking at that, if you want firsthand knowledge of this stuff, make sure you join our Discord. You can use the Fall 35 coupon code there below for 35% off of any subscription level that you choose, and go to Cryptonairz.com to get to the Discord and to take advantage of that coupon.
So that's what it looks like. I'm going to have to reshare because I forgot to click share audio. Just take a second. Okay, here we go. So it's just like on a loop. There are more.
Kind of reminds me of what's happening with the Secret Society raccoon. They're doing a social experiment for the people that bought that, and with that we shared here last night. So they're saying that this media is going to degrade as soon as you mint it, basically.
7. Okay, there were 8 of these. I'm on the website for it now. 7 of them have been minted, and the last one is reserved for Fingerprints DAO. And it does link to owners. So it looks like most of them have only been transferred one time. One has been transferred 2 times, and the last has been transferred 3 times. So they are still out there. They haven't.
This is artificially degrade, so maybe that is the key word there.
Well, let me see. Let me click on the one that's been transferred 3 times. View on OpenSea. Let's see if it still looks like the. I guess it's oh no, it's definitely grainier.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then now for the project of the evening, I'm going to be sharing a project that has a code name right now. We don't really know what it's called, but for now it's called Akira. Have you heard of that, Corey?
Akira.
Yeah, it's from Artifact Studios. Yeah, it's from Artifact Studios. And it's, I guess they sort of look like 3D anime characters. there's going to be 20,000 of them. And the reason that they would like to have so many is so that people that haven't collected, if you've collected some of their works before, if you hold some of their NFTs, you automatically get pre-sale for this. And they know that they have a lot of collectors. So they wanted to make sure that the supply was enough in case to keep the floor a little lower so that people that maybe haven't owned an NFT before would be able to get one of these. And they're promising a lot of stuff with this drop. It is highly
Don't they
anticipated.
all?
Yeah,
Don't
but
they all?
Artifact Studios, though, they're definitely capable of pulling it off. I'm going to show you a preview of some images that have been released. I think they're pretty cool looking. Okay, so here we have these, and you actually get your 3D character too. And they do ship their products. Like they do shoes, they do other things. They did that Karl Lagerfeld launch. Oh no, that was
Oh, that's really.
dematerialized, excuse
I
me.
love the art is so cute.
Yeah, and they wanted to make sure that there was equal representation of all different types of people within the collection, and there's going to be 20,000 of these. And these are a really big deal. I have no idea how much they're going to be. We do not know yet. But if
What's
you
the
happen,
name of them so I can share with the chat again?
the name of the Twitter account, it's
Mm-hmm.
Artifact Studios, RTF KT Studios. If you just start typing that in Twitter, it'll immediately come up.
But the Twitter account should be at RT
FKT.
FKT Studios.
Yeah, RTFKT Studios. Yep. And okay, so this is what you're going to get if you manage to score one of these Akiras. You get lifetime artifact benefits, and that usually means like access to additional drops, whether that's MIT passes or airdrops. And Artifact does a lot of airdrops. Just this week, they airdropped a sweatshirt that you could wear in Decentraland, like it was a wearable. You will get the 3D model. This is the first ever real 3D anime avatar project. It will come metaverse ready, and they have 7 different DNA strands. Now, yeah, they haven't released everything. So like they drop things in clues, kind of to excite the community. You know how projects do.
Oh yeah.
The rarest DNA has just 15 to 50 avatars. Those 7 different DNAs of avatars each unlock NFT access to a different DNA brand. So for that brand, you're able to forge sneakers and merch. We can expect forging events for the project as a whole, and then unlocking the different DNA projects. There's over 200 3D traits. And community creators will create the traits, and some of the secondary royalties are going to artists that are involved. Now, Artifact has dropped a lot of clues via tweet, and one of them is where this goes to our dream collab. But who's that dream collab with? I have no idea. Yeah, and then someone from the team wrote, when you guys find out who the artist is, big nuke, big bomb. I know, and I want to tell the whole world so badly. This is going to be very exciting. And in order to get onto the pre-sale list for this, you had to hold one of their other drops, whether that be sneakers. They did a sneaker collab with Ferocious. They have a pigeon that's like amazing, and it's about 3 ETH or up is the floor on those. They also had some other things that had little tapes and what is that Nintendo thing? I can't think of the name of it. It's like a Nintendo gaming system from like the 90s. So like if you're holding any of these, hodl your pigeons, people, physical, digital, virtual, meta, all of the above, because these things guarantee that you will get one of these Akiras. Like,
nice.
Yeah. And then let's see, what else can I tell you about it? I'm in a Medium post with like that has put all of the clues together that have been dropped so far. So it's really interesting. We can drop a link to that too so that people will be able to read it. But it does show like some of the sneakers besides the Fuosha sneakers, like any sneakers that you have of theirs will make you eligible for this drop. Now, there was some people on Twitter complaining like, oh, only collectors can get into the pre-sale. There's always going to be complainers. But like just last month, one of those Fuosha sneakers, it was actually really affordable. I happen to follow someone that's a big fan of this team, and they were always talking about it. They weren't even that expensive. I mean, unfortunately, like I missed out on that. But they've got lots of sneakers that have been forged from previous projects anyway. Let's see, what else can I tell you clue wise, if there's anything like really interesting. Okay, so fun fact, Akira is just the code name. The actual name for the Avatar project will be announced later on. All we know is that the first letter is C. That's it. No one knows anything else. Whatever the name is, though, this will be the biggest Avatar project of the year. And you can look it up and research and figure out that I'm not exaggerating. This legitimately is going to be the biggest drop of the year. And a lot of people want this. It's going to be pretty valuable.
It won't have that, since they have a pre-sale that seems like it's going to be pretty large. I hope that it won't be fraught with a lot of the problems that we discussed last night that happen with these big NFT drops. I really do. Yeah.
I'm going to share this so that you can see like all of the different artwork that they've released from the team as they've been working on the project. And it's really cool. And they're really involving the community as much as they can all the way through. And I like that versus just like some surprise thing. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know what the artwork's going to be like. Okay.
And while Allison's bringing that up, I got some good news, guys.
Oh, what's that?
I got into the pre-sale for Frogs in Disguise.
You did?
I did.
That's
it only
really
took me about 100 hours of my life. That's all.
And when is the sale?
The sale is going to be September the 13th. Guys, for the Frogs, they are 0.08 to mint. If you are interested, definitely go to the Frogs in Disguise at Frogs in Disguise on Twitter. But that is happening. The artwork is like, I've shared that before here, super cute. But yes, my groveling in service to King Ribbit finally paid off.
It worked out.
Some pictures with you guys.
I feel they should give it to you for free. You worked so hard on it.
Guess what? I'm a gatekeeper now too. I got a promotion from knight to gatekeeper. So here you go.
So here's some rendering like of the 3D model. I'm just gonna scroll through some images that have been shared. Yeah, I think these are gonna be really cool, and I'm going to try to get one. 20,000 is a large supply, so hopefully, hopefully there's going to be a limit, like one or two, so we don't end up with a lot of the scenarios we've been seeing lately. Yeah. Am I scrolling too fast or no?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Like, I think these is quite detailed.
Like, really good. Yeah.
Very, very much reminds me of that anime style.
Yeah. And you will get your 3D character and you will be able to take them across the metaverse. So yeah, like the artwork it's really good, and it is, look at this, very detailed. These people that design these things are so incredibly talented. Like that looks Mia, like everything on that gas mask. I don't know. I think this is really cool. And people are going to be talking about this in the coming weeks. So just keep an eye on it. Join the Luxo Discord, because not only, Artifact Studios, not only can you learn about this project, but they often give airdrops.
Oh yeah, so, you like free stuff.
Yeah, and usually wearables for the metaverse.
That's cute.
Like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this was the one that I wanted to share with you guys. There's nothing like, I'm going to be very selective with what I'm going to be minting during this flat season that we find ourselves in.
Ooh, I like that one.
Which which one? This one?
Him, yeah. Or it could
Yeah.
be a her. I
I
don't
like
know.
the
You're
third
mask.
eye
That third eye, yeah.
and the eyes, the neon eyes.
Very cute.
But so this is what your metaverse characters can be looking like.
Ooh, she's cute too. That hair.
Yeah.
Love it.
But I mean, look at the detail for like the cloth on that eye, on that wrap. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like you can see the fibers of it. Yeah, I mean, this artwork is just, it is really top notch. People are excited about it. Look at that. I don't know, I think it's so good. I get excited. But yeah, the team drops clues. It's fun to try to figure out what the name is going to be.
Ooh, don't want
And
that one. I can't smell
that does,
spiders. Ew.
no one really likes spiders, but yeah. And then I just wanted to read one last thing for like tips on making it through this like flat season that we find ourselves in, about NFTs, of course. Up running. I thought I bookmarked it, but maybe not. Oh, here we go. When the market hype down and prices seem stagnant, that's when you have to have really strong project and industry thesis. For the right projects, it's the opportunity to double down. So this is what I'm going to be keeping in the back of my mind. I'm going to be very selective about what I choose to. I'm probably not going to be minting anything, but if I were to pick up anything on secondary, yeah, it'd have to be a really big deal for me, or like one of these crazy art experiment type things that I'm into and I haven't been able to afford, or an art blocks flowers, because for my price range the flowers, then project. I've had my eyes on those. I just haven't get them because the price the past couple of weeks. So that's what I'll be doing. Do you have any plans for your collection during this downtime?
I'm just gonna be holding, especially a couple of ones that I think, have a great utility and who have a roadmap that they're currently and actively working on. There will What I try to do like is buy like 2 or 3 so I can maybe sell one and hold the rest. So that's kind of my strategy. And that's what I will be
Yeah.
doing for sure moving forward.
Well, if you want to hear about any other projects, or if you're curious about something, or you just want to chat, you can hit both of us up on Twitter, or we're always on the server, always available to chat. Just send us a message or add us in there.
Yep, that's our Twitter addresses. Love to talk to you guys, and um yeah, not a problem if you have any questions. Make sure you check out the Frogs in Disguise. I put the Twitter name there in the chat because that is coming up on Monday the 13th, if everything goes according to plan. And there's another one that is being worked on that I think is going to be really cool because one of the people who was involved closely with the Bored Apes, I just heard about this today because I was in Twitter Spaces. Thanks to Allie, she's got me hooked on those. But this is Stoned Apes, and I'm going to put the spelling of that in the Twitter because it's spelled kind of weird. But they look like Simpsons characters, so if you just check that out on
What are they? Stoned
Twitter.
apes?
They're called Stone Apes, but they spell it with a Z at the end instead of a S.
I think
And
I've seen these guys.
yeah, they're kind of flying under the radar. They thought they were going to be able to mint today. They had some issues with the website, but the price to mint these are very affordable. It's it's 0.024, which is about $80 right now with the price of ETH to mint, which is way below the price of a lot of these mints, guys.
That's very affordable.
Yeah. So yeah, check them out. The guy who a lot of the people who are involved with this, I like to think of them as hippies. They're, really, cool into the, the cannabis environment and that kind of thing. But a lot of them, in there with really good hearts. They have big plans to grace the proceeds to charity. Especially young people are very interested in making sure that young people are blessed with this. So yeah, check that out because I think that project's going to shape up to be a nice one. So
And
go to
when
Twitter.
does that drop?
It was actually supposed to happen. So yeah, they're probably in there even now because they're on Twitter Space. Like I don't even know when they ever sleep. But check for the Stoned Apes Twitter Space. They're probably in there now trying to get the page together, or Google to see if you can find it. Because when I last checked, which was like 5 minutes before I jumped on for the show, they still didn't have the website up yet. So they were having some issues with that. But yeah, they probably be minting between tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, very affordable, and I think the project's going to be cool. So check it out.
It has to be so stressful to be a project at right before launch, like trying to get all these last things together. Like it's working on the test net, you bring it online, and then of course, inevitably multiple things break. It's
Stuff
got to be
goes
really
wrong.
stressful. Yeah.
Yeah, but I hope they bring it on. If they do it, it'll probably be at some odd hour. So I definitely plan on trying to get at least 3 of these tonight or between tonight and tomorrow, whenever they can get the website working. So I will show them to you guys if I'm blessed enough to get them tonight on tomorrow's stream, guys.
I just wanted to leave everyone with one quote from the co-founder of Twitch. I saw this today, and sometimes I struggle with this myself, and I know that there are many others that do as well. So this like tweet thread stuck out to me. What if I told you that I felt like a failure even after selling Twitch for $1 billion? This is for anyone
Wow.
experiencing imposter syndrome. When you're in a startup, it's easy to feel like everyone else is crushing it while you're drowning. Comparison is a fundamental part of our human nature, and it's also our greatest bane. This is the consequence of information asymmetry. You're always seeing examples of the good news. Everyone else is only showing the positive stuff. Meanwhile, you're observing the full range of your own experiences. Some are good and some are bad. This is the reason he started his podcast. I wanted to give people the complete picture into the lives of successful people, including the things that didn't go well for them. The 5% rule. Most people out there probably only know a little bit more than you. You only need to know 5% more than someone on a topic to sound like an expert. You won't be able to accurately gauge how far behind you are from someone, so it's easy to project that you are light years behind. This is a logical fallacy. I always say this to founders, but it applies to any career or high growth job. You will always feel like you are drowning. Even when you are succeeding, it feels like you are drowning because you're constantly being forced to do something new that you haven't had experience in. While figuring this stuff out on the fly, you're going to feel like you're failing and that you're an imposter. You'll look at other founders growing their teams, fundraising, hiring, and thinking that they are the experts. The reality is that they had to grind to figure it out, just like you're doing now. They just happen to be a little bit ahead of you. Dealing with imposter syndrome, one, recognize everyone has it and that it's totally normal. Get a group of friends, peers that you can be brutally honest with and share experiences. Don't just say I'm fine when someone asks. Open up and share, and most importantly, listen. Practice gratitude every day. Ask yourself,
Mhm.
is this a bad thing that I think is really true? What is the actual consequence of that? 5, and this is very important, take a break from social media. Meditate to help you afford self-critical thoughts, and you'll see those thoughts come and go. Being present lets you avoid getting caught up in the regrets of the past or anxiety for the future. What has been your experience with imposter syndrome? And are you currently going through something like that? So I thought it was cool that not only he shared these tips, he let us know that it's totally normal, and then opened up the floor for other people if they were struggling with it to talk to him about it. I thought that was cool. And I know there's a lot of people out there, especially in this space, even me. I'm always learning every single day. And in my job at work, I took over a few years ago, I took over someone's job, and it was like I was promoted a few roles higher than I thought maybe I should have been. I deserved that promotion, but I did feel like an imposter. I know we all go through it, so I just wanted to share it. Just
We
like a
do.
positive thing for the weekend. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. We got this. We all got this.
I don't have to say anything else after that except good night, guys, and have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. We'll see you next
Bye.
time.
See you next week.